Here's our super cute lovebirds. Godzilla on the left, Medusa on the right. And look, their hands are even touching. Isn't it so cute?
I'm Lena Kelly with Critchlow Alligator Sanctuary, and this is a story about alligators for GeoBeats.
Spot.
We rescue alligators.
That's some good exercise.
People had them as a pet for some purpose, and then they don't want them anymore.
Charlie's getting a good scrubbing.
We each have our own story, and so do these animals. Godzilla was being sold in a pet store. He was like the display animal in the window to kind of draw people to come into the store. The store was going out of business, and Godzilla just didn't really have any other place to go.
Come on! Good girl.
Medusa was somebody's pet alligator. They just weren't able to care for her any longer. When we got her, she was one of our most aggressive alligators. Now she's one of our most gentle alligators.
Happy couple right there.
They're just a pair that always are together. They've been together in a habitat for 3 years. They are not a mom and dad. They do mate often, or at least do mating behavior, but they have never successfully mated. If we were to introduce a female, Godzilla would enjoy the female, but we would see some aggression by Medusa. The sanctuary was started by my dad and mom, but mostly my dad's passion.
He's trying to come over and say hi.
My dad would just take all sorts of random unwanted pets that people had. Hey, we don't want our snake anymore. Do you want it? Oh, sure, I'll take it. And then eventually we got into the alligators. Someone was going on vacation, so they told us. And then they didn't come back to get their alligator. And they stopped returning our phone calls. And after about 15 years, we had about 30 alligators in our home backyard.
Tyrion. Tyrion's actually our oldest alligator here. He lived for about 25 years in the basement of his original owner's home.
We had no idea that this was a demand that needed filling in our community.
Look at Lola, our ugliest alligator.
Now we have almost 200 alligators that we've rescued from about 21 different states across the U.S.
Come here.
We are a forever home for all the animals that we have.
Hi, Mitch. Hi, Poseidon. He's one of my buds.
Unfortunately, because they've all been raised by people, they cannot be let into the wild down south because they would continue to seek people to continue to feed them.
Godzilla is about 11 to 11 and a half feet long, and Medusa is about 8 and a half feet long. Godzilla, we've had him for a number of years, about 20 years or so. Waldo. Good boy.
We do train many of our alligators.
Tom. Good boy.
They have to learn their names.
That's great.
And they have to learn a few basic commands like come, lay down, open their mouth, close their mouth, walking into a crate. Some we train for medical purposes. So one alligator is trained to receive eye drops.
Come on. Oh, isn't that so warm?
They got Cookie. He was in somebody's home and he had his mouth taped for who knows how long within their home. I don't really know how he was being fed. It took a long time for him to realize, hey, I can open my mouth. Alligators get such a bad rap. Many people think that alligators are just mean, scary animals.
It's on the land. Is he gonna go get it? He's curious.
They leave you alone. It's the people that are getting into their habitats and destructing their habitats, so they have nothing else to do besides defend themselves.
This here is what we call our middle school. These are anywhere from 4.5 feet to almost 7 feet. We'll move over just a little bit to our other habitat right across our little bridgeway. And so this is what we call our elementary school. So these are some of our smaller alligators. Many of them have had their growth stunted from being stuck in small habitats. There she is. Hers is so cute.
They're so interesting. During the daytime, their pupils are vertical. Then at nighttime, their pupils dilate, so they're almost circular. And then, so in the back of their eye, they have these little tiny crystals that are almost like mirrors. And then they're reflecting the light back.
Alligators can swim up to 20 miles per hour. Now, alligators can run about 11 miles per hour, faster than humans. So never think that you can outswim or outrun an alligator. Good girl, Grace. Just a gentle girl.
Alligators lose their teeth every year to year and a half, so they can go through about 2,000 to 3,000 teeth in their whole life. We find teeth all over our ponds and our habitats just naturally as they lose their teeth. They're really intelligent. Their relationships are different depending on the people that they're working with. They've learned all of our voices really well. When there's strangers there, they don't really pay too much attention. Gators! But when they hear those of us that have been with the alligators for a long time, then they definitely perk up a little bit more, and they're listening to you even though they're not necessarily listening to you.
Happy birthday, dear Tubbs!
Some of them have been around so many people and they love people, and as soon as people come in, they're just like so excited. Some of them have just come from really interesting situations, so they're a bit more standoffish. They don't like to be talked to or spoken to. We've been rescuing gators since the early 90s. Never ever had they reproduced until 2018. It's too cold in Michigan for them to successfully reproduce. In 2018, it must have been really hot. We had 3 females lay about 140 eggs, and out of all of those eggs, a friend of ours incubated maybe 15 or so, and she successfully hatched 2. We have the oldest one.
This is Tubbs. This is the baby of Tom and Stubby. It's snowing up here.
We have these cargo shipping containers that house all of the animals for the winter time. We insulate them and we build habitats inside, and then we have to physically move all of the alligators indoors.
There's Godzilla.
There's ponds so they can swim, they can climb out and bask on the basking tables, but it's just a pretty quiet existence for the 5 months or 6 months that they're indoors.
Medusa! Medusa!
And you can hear their stories like Cookie or many of the other animals. These animals need to be taken care of just as much as the dogs and the cats and the horses and all the other animals that we love.
See you later, alligator.